guys, welcome to Samson's World, the podcast. I am sitting here with an amazing comedian, a good friend of mine, a veteran of the game. He tours with Tony Rock. He's an all-around badass. Give it up for the comedian,
Yes.
Mr. Trey Elliot.
What up, brother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, welcome to the show. Yeah.
What's up, Samson? What up, man? What's up, Samson?
Just telling, do you hear that pre-recorded? That's my applaud. Listen to that again. Yeah.
I love it. Woo. Oh, that is you. That's your boy.
Yeah, welcome to the show. Yeah, you're great.
I thought you downloaded that from somewhere.
No, that was me. That's all me.
That's all you.
I don't want anybody coming after me for copyright infringement of their sound effects.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at you doing your own sound effects.
Right, exactly. I'm an independent comedian, even down to my sound effects.
Yeah, man. Yes.
Like if I'm using a fart sound effect,
it's gonna be yours.
No, my wife's.
Oh, okay. Her farts are better.
Yeah. They're just. I mean, I hate to out her now, but she does those boat farts.
Yeah.
So, man, thank you for coming all the way. You said from Santa Clarita.
Santa Clarita, Valencia. Damn. Yeah, man. You know, that's where I'm at now, bro. You know,
it's beautiful up there.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. You know, you get a little. Now I ain't saying a lot of change, but you get you a little bit of change. You know,
right.
You go out where you get your cul-de-sac front yard. You know what I mean? Somewhat of a nice little backyard area. You know, get you more for your money.
That's right. That's people don't understand that about LA is the further out you get, the more of that Midwest or back east. You know, the reality is most people in LA. Most houses don't come with a disposal. Some don't come with a refrigerator,
right.
A dishwasher.
Yeah,
these are all things of privilege in Los Angeles. Which back home in St. Louis,
everything comes with that.
Your kitchen, granite countertops, it looks beautiful. And if that same house was here in LA, it'd be $1 million home. And everybody like, wow, your house is so nice because. I've seen $1 million+ homes that don't have a dishwasher.
Oh yeah, facts.
Yeah.
And for me, I like driving. I don't like driving into everything, but I have to. But I love driving away to go to the serenity, the peace,
And it is the peace. And it's funny. I had Donnell Rawlings was over at the house yesterday, and we were talking about that. Just how at the end of the day, it's all about peace, especially for, a man, woman, I'm sure anybody.
Yeah.
But just a place where you can have your space, your peace, where you can get away from the whole world, no matter what's happening, just fucking let it all go.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people who are really successful who don't have that peace all the time, or it's it's hard to find it.
It's internal a lot of times too.
Right.
So there's nothing that you could buy. There's nothing, or really, there's no place you can technically live to have. It all starts within. If you have it within, then other pieces or other things that bring you peace are like afford a luxury.
Yeah, inner peace, man.
Yeah, but it all starts with the inner peace.
Yep. How you gonna win if you ain't right within?
Correct.
Lauryn Hill.
About the late, not the late, but about the great Lauryn Hill.
Yeah, she's still great. Yeah.
Yeah. When she on time.
When she's on time, I know. Yeah. I saw her think she was pretty much like, fuck everybody. I'm Lauryn Hill, and if I'm there, you're lucky.
She's moving to the beat of her own drum.
Yeah, literally.
I'm not mad at her because I don't buy the tickets for her concert.
Yeah, I know better.
So I'm good, but but I'm not mad that she's just like, hey, it is what it is.
And people don't understand that she couldn't perform. She just shouldn't have performed any of her old music if you don't have the rights to that music was the problem.
I didn't, and that was something new that I learned as of recent is that she didn't have the rights to her own music. We just assumed because she was such a dope artist.
Yeah.
That and we know her to write her songs and things, but it came out that a lot of them songs she didn't write or she co-wrote, so meaning she had other people writing them the songs with her. But it was just like, hey, it's all me. It was presented like it was all her.
Well, how many times do people do that?
All the time.
You know what? Here's something I'll say, and I don't know. I don't want to get any trouble, but nobody really listens to this anyway. But you know, just when people claim to discover a comedian, I feel like as comedians, somebody's always there's the famous "I discovered him or her," and you're just like, no, you're just finally the motherfucker who was smart enough to see a little bit ahead of time of everybody else.
Right.
But if you hadn't come along, that doesn't mean that person was never gonna make it.
Never
you know,
was gonna make it. Yeah.
People love to claim that you've discovered someone, and I just always find that just a little bit, you know, that's great, but we're the comedians, you know, we're the ones who are in this hustle working in the trenches and everything to bust through, get over the wall.
Yeah, it's like you discover gold.
Right.
Yeah,
right,
and it's hidden.
Right. Or I found the fucking gold, and then you come over and be like, wow, this is a lot of gold you have here. Let's partner. You know, I'll help you cash it in. And you're like, well, wait a minute, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it is always somebody who wants to say, I kind of, you know, took them to the water, you know. And I mean, there are some people who probably helped or, you know, I mean, gave them a good jump start. But sometimes it's just like, discover, nah, I was already here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was here and I was going to be here and I was going to be there.
Right,
so.
right.
Now, we were talking earlier, you comfortable talking about we were talking about comedians getting canceled and stuff like that.
Yeah, let's talk.
You know, I've been thinking about this lately, how, okay, I'm a white comedian. If I want to say some racist shit, calculated something in front of an audience, somebody's filming it and it goes viral and Samson, oh man, that's so off color. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting canceled, you guys, because I told a joke. I just told a joke. And I feel like comedians are using this formula to sell out, get famous maybe. It's worked for, you know, Shane Gillis. I love him. He's a great comedian. It worked for him with SNL. He had it was off color, an Asian rant. It wasn't at that time. He's so much funnier now, I realize, than, of course, that one podcast video of him just saying racist shit. That's just what it was.
Right.
But I'm just seeing how it works for these comedians. And you see white conservative comedians, Joe Rogan's, Tony Hinchcliffe, this whole bit, you know, on Kill Tony, they go and they let people say racist things, and big names like Joe Rogan are able to sit there, whoa, dude, whoa, you know, but that's hilarious. Come on my podcast. And they win. You know, like we were talking with David Lucas, you know, we both know him. I love David Lucas. He's a hilarious comedian.
This little bro,
but it's interesting to watch what he's doing. You know, for people who don't know, he made a joke in front of an audience about George Floyd. It was just off color. A lot of comedians, you know, if you're a comic, you say, hey, it was a joke. It was funny. But it's just like these jokes and things have consequences, and it just makes you. It just makes you think, like, is it really worth it? Because the black people in the audience walked out after what he said, and white people are sitting there laughing.
Yeah. And
You
I
know?
mean, and even when they said it, some of the white audience was still kind of like, oh, shoot, I don't know if I should laugh at this or not. I mean, like I said, Dave is, you know, I've called him my little bro. A lot of people don't know the history that me and David Lucas have. I've been rocking with Dave. We've been rocking with each other for a very, very long time, for years. You know what I mean? You know, when we were both having to work, you know, regular jobs and struggling, and I got him a job, and you know, I've been knowing him for a long time, and it's funny because a week before that happened, before he went viral, I had did his show, David Lucas and Friends, at the Improv, the Hollywood Improv, and I talked to him about the same shit with different material. It's like, yo, man, you know, if you do this, you don't have to do that in order to make the joke funny.
Right.
So we've had those conversations in the past, you know, and. But that's little bro. Like we
and that's his thing too.
Yeah.
You know, it's Hans Kim is another comedian. He's an Asian comedian.
Yeah.
Who he just all he does, and he's funny. He does just really off-color, kind of edgy, racist kind of material.
But as you can see, there's an audience for it. You just got to know who your audience is. You got to just know. I mean, it's not particularly my style.
No, me neither.
And I had to, so when I would give my advice to him, I would just give my suggestions like, hey, you can still make this bit funny without X, Y, and Z. But at the end of the day, it's all opinionated. It's all subjective. It's a route that I wouldn't have went. And I told him, I was like, yo, man, I told him it was some bullshit.
I love how you do keep it real even online.
He know how I feel about it.
Right.
I mean, but it's not like a cancel thing though. Like I don't believe in cancel culture. I don't think anybody should be canceled. But I feel like it's just as a kid, if you do some shit that is some foul shit, you should get the spanking.
Hilarious.
You know what I mean? You should get punished. Not in no cancel way. It's,
right.
You know what I mean? Just like, yo, hey man, slap on the wrist. Move forward, you know what I mean? Or now make the best of it. If this is the bed that you make the best of it.
But he's selling out
No,
now.
yo, he's doing this thing, man. But he was selling out before. That's the thing.
True.
He was selling out before. Like his shows, like he was doing some good numbers before all this happened, because of the Kill Tony podcast. He really, that really got him to the next level. But the controversy that happened now just put him on different platforms that he may not have been on prior to the controversy.
Yeah, like Proud Boys websites.
I mean, he got,
I mean, dude, he said, oh yeah. I mean, his last thing was, yeah, and I like Kyle Rittenhouse. You know, I mean, he was
he definitely pushed the button. And look, like I said, it was a lot of shit on there that I didn't agree with. That I was like, come on, man. But at the end of the day, the cancel, it shouldn't be anything about canceling, or comedians shouldn't be trying to cancel them. But I'm definitely gonna always voice. If I, like I said on Facebook, if I fuck with you, I'm gonna fuck with you. Meaning I'm gonna tell you what's real, because I genuinely, and it ain't because of everybody else's opinion. It's just because I really rock with you. You know what I mean? So I'm always gonna tell, and before this or after this, I'm always gonna be the one to be like, yo. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what people who love me and care about me, that's what they do to me. So,
that's what a good
it's only
friend does.
right that I do that back. And I just told him, hey, just be careful. And this is the bed you made, so move forward. But he got a lot of things coming out of this. You know what I mean? Positive things. You know what I mean? But he just gonna have to figure out how he wants to maneuver. You know what I mean? And expand his fan base to not being what people now think it is.
Right. Or I guess that's the worry, at least I would have for it from an outsider's perspective, is the minute, the shit hits the fan and you say something that's really, I just feel like Joe Rogan, the Tony Hinchcliffe, these guys, they're not going to associate with, they have too much money to lose. So they're not going to fight your battle. And I think that's the hard part sometimes, is people don't realize when it all falls down, they're not going to be coming to bail you out. You're going to be on your own. And I don't know, but maybe that, I don't know how that works.
Like I said, they're good friends with Dave, and we'll see. You know what I mean? It's a weird thing, man. Like, but it just goes to show you that there's an audience for everything.
Right.
And like I said, I've done Dave's night with his crowd, and and I don't have no problem with his audience as far as material. You know what I mean?
What is his crowd, would you say?
Well, his crowd at the Improv, it was white and Latino, a lot of white and Latinos. Okay. You know what I mean?
I like that.
So it was a good crowd. But my style of comedy is for any and everybody. I don't care.
Right, me too.
I don't care if you're a Trump supporter, Biden supporter, racist, non-racist. When you hear my shit, you're gonna laugh regardless.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But yeah, we're at that point now where controversy sells more than anything else, which is kind of frustrating. But it's like that more so in the mainstream area of comedy. You know what I mean? With urban comedy, we have to be really careful. And I'm not putting myself in the urban bracket, but just as a black comedian. You have to be careful when it comes to controversy as far as with your own people, because it may not translate as to ticket sales or certain things as well as it does for maybe white comedians, because white comedy, it's a whole different audience. Like we were saying earlier, there are white comedians who nobody really know. Black people don't even really know that are selling theaters and selling 5, 6, 7,000 seat theaters. And with black comedy, you got to have 5 or 6 headliners that should be able to do
one
that
show. Yeah,
on
that's
one
kind of
show.
wild, isn't it? Isn't that weird? I toured. Did some dates with Michelle Wolf. And she was playing theater, and I'm not saying she's not known. She was on the Daily Show, and so she is well known. But it is a good point that that you have like Little Duval, D-Ray, Deion Cole, all these
folks.
heavy hitters, Donnell on the same bill, which one person can sell out. But I wonder if that. What is that? But
I feel like white audiences and white fan bases of comedy, they kind of appreciate just that word. Just comedy, funny. Okay, let's go see it. Let's go support it. A lot of times they don't even got to know who the person is. Sometimes it's just a thing that they do. We're gonna go
out to
we just gotta go to the comedy. I wonder who's playing. Okay, this guy, Trey Elliot. Never heard of him, but
he's hilarious. We're fans.
And they come, they laugh, and now they're fans. The black audience, they gotta know you. They like Trey Elliott. I ain't never heard of him. He must not be good. We gonna go eat and go home, or we gonna wait next week until Bruce.
Right.
Then they've seen Bruce 50 times, but and they don't want to spend their money. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can't give black people free tickets to see somebody that they're not familiar with.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So, we got different audiences, man. So if you could learn how to tap into both, then that's when you learn, for me, that's when you learn how to start winning. But it's frustrating.
Oil and gold, man. I mean, it's to get a fan base alone is really hard. I don't even know. It's really hard to do.
Yeah, and it's just like, okay, I'm staying in my lane. But I tell people all the time, if you're driving on the highway, it's okay to switch lanes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's the whole purpose of driving. We're in a business where we have to be motivated by being driven.
Yep.
So switch lanes sometimes and figure out, which lane is moving.
Yep.
And try to get in that lane and then get back in this lane. Like you have the whole highway that you can kind of utilize.
Yeah.
But it's hard to build a fan base now. And social media has made it even more difficult, to build it made it easier to build a fan base, but at the same time it just made it just kind of just diluted the game of comedy.
Yeah, totally did. And speaking of switching lanes, you saw the video of Corey Holcomb,
Donnell Rollins,
and Donnell Young.
So Pete, I was on that show. So
really? Okay,
I did the 9:30 show, and I did that was happening on the midnight show. I left soon as I got off stage, but I missed it. But I listened to Corey's explanation on 5150.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear. What did he say? I didn't hear that.
Now, from what Corey said, which I didn't know, because from the video, it just looks like Corey's up there and he's just being the bully or just starting the conversation, but he really said that Donnell actually yelled something out first. So, I don't know how true it is because, like I said, I wasn't there when the actual incident happened.
Right. Shots fired.
But, man, this comedy beef is just kind of just getting whacked, man.
It's
just like
silly.
And a lot of times, man, especially with the vets, the 30-year vets, the 30+ year vets, it's so many undisclosed beefs that's been going on for years and years. And you see these people and they see each other. But I mean, I'm like, we at the point, man, where Donnell got a Netflix special coming out.
Right, it's like we should be supporting.
It's so many things that could be celebrated.
Now, here's something I was saying yesterday. Now, I told Donnell this. I was like, well, the whole thing, got picked up by TMZ, but I was like, it's great press for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't hurt. And I was like, and Corey's hilarious. Donnell's hilarious. There's no way you can, one comedian especially, you cannot call mild is Donnell Rawlings. You cannot say Donnell Rawlings has not put in the work. He is the archetype of a comedian who has paid his dues and is, and if you were in a gladiator battle of comedy, I would pick Donnell as my gladiator. You know what I mean? If I need somebody to bet on to win, I'm going to put him up against anybody. But it's interesting because like you're saying, all this Cat Williams, the beef that's been created, it's like, what are we doing here? Like, it's just such a waste of time. Like, but if Corey had said, hey, congrats to Donnell, let's give it up, every applause, he deserves this, February 27th, would that have gone viral?
No, and that's what's kind of like frustrating. I said, I was telling somebody yesterday, I said, you know what, I'm about to do some shit. Like,
I mean, doesn't like, that, it makes you feel like that.
You know why? Because if you post a good bit on your social media, nobody reposts it. Nobody says anything. A good ass joke. But the minute somebody says something controversy or something that's just whatever negative, then from your DLs to anybody with a big following, they want to post it, and it's like you're posting it saying something about it in a negative way, but you're giving it the biggest promo ever.
Right.
If you know you have that much influence, if you see some shit that's like, oh, yo, this is a brilliant bit, post that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And promote that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like if we all helped each other and share each other's whatever bits or whatever, it could just help generate and build fan bases. But a lot of people, man, they hold on to their fan base like they hold on to their social security number.
Literally,
and it's it's enough fans out here for everybody.
Right,
and you can share fan bases. It's not to where it's just like I only could like this one person.
Yeah, they're not gonna. If I feature for Donnell, there's no way they're ever gonna be like, oh well, fuck this Donnell Rawlings guy, we're all gonna switch to no. You know what I mean? They're not. I mean, hopefully, I gain some fans from going up in front of his audiences. That's the goal,
right?
Or if it's Tiffany or whoever it is, But we're never gonna steal. You know, we're never gonna steal their fan base. It's about gaining more. I agree.
Gaining more. I
think if we all shared more, work together more, we'd all get there a little bit quicker. But instead, everybody's working separately.
I felt like it was like that in the 90s, man. For some reason, I felt like, but there were more opportunities in the 90s too. You got to remember, in like the 90s, early 2000s, there were limited channels. You know, you had cable. Even when you had basic regular TV, and even when you had cable, there wasn't 1,000 channels on cable at that point in time. And then the exposure for urban comedy was, you had Comic View, which came on every day, repeat.
Yeah.
So now you're able to get the fan base. Def Jam, you was able to get the fan base, but now it's just, the internet is so spread out.
Yeah.
It's so spread out, and it's just like, man, like, you can have people with couple of millions of followers, but they still can't get the asses in the seats.
Yep.
It's just like you don't know who following you. You don't know if you got 12, 13-year-old, following you. You know, you got grown people who want to spend money following you. It's just all over the place. So,
that's the hardest part is when you read a comment and they're like, why don't you kill yourself? And then you go to their profile and it's like a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, all right, dude, take the noose off. Like,
right.
Not going to hang. It was a 13-year-old, Sam. Don't kill yourself.
Exactly, man. Oh my God. So it's funny. It's a funny time in the business right now, man. It's just trying to figure out how to just navigate, you know what I mean? Just navigate through it properly,
Think about how much easier it was for comedians in the 80s to stay positive, because you're never hearing you're not funny, you're kill yourself, that you call this a joke, where's the punchline, like the different, like you'll get love on your comments, but people who love things generally don't comment. It's things you hate that's where you make the comment. You to fucking say something.
That's just like Yelp, Google reviews. Anytime somebody has something bad to say, they say. Anytime somebody has something good to say, a lot of time they keep it to themselves.
Yeah. I got an amazing massage. I'm not gonna fucking go to that. Unless the place really asked me to do it, which I've been asked to do that before. And there's actually this place I'll plug, Spavana on Sunset. Spavana, man. Thai massage spot.
Happy endings?
I like to, Jesus, Trey. Not anything we can reveal online, no.
Okay.
But actually,
Let me
it's
cross
funny.
That off the list.
Yeah, cross off the list. I got a bit, though, about it. It's not about happy endings. It's more happy beginnings.
Okay.
Because then you're not distracted the whole time.
Right,
Get the ending out of the way in the beginning.
Now I can get some good rest.
Right. Yeah, I'm like, I'm not thinking about busting a nut. Now you relax.
Yo, yeah. Happy endings is the dumbest shit ever now that I think about it.
Right, it is. You're going to spend the whole time being like, is she going to do it?
Yeah,
is she going to do it?
yeah.
And then like, yeah, you fucked up the massage, man. So yeah.
Do it first.
No, it's a happy beginning if you're doing it right. So anyway, this place is kind of funny. I went in, I got a massage, and it was this old lady, man, and she had like her hands were scaly, like they're real dry, like eczema and shit. So I ended the massage like almost 15 minutes in. I was like, this is not a massage, and you're charging me $70, and I was like, no. So they go, let us make it right, and they're like, the manager is gonna give you a massage, and this woman, Nadia, shout out, is, I mean, amazing. You know, she had some hands of gold. She comes in, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is the shit I'm talking about.
Right.
And so from that time on, she's like, can you do a Google review for us? And I was like, sure. And now she's fucking booked because I did an amazing Google review.
Nice.
So yeah, so I get the hookup. But
so that's what we got to start doing, man. We got to start Google reviewing
each other,
man. That way, you know, we can help each other with these fan bases. Yeah, because I admire and take my hat off to everybody that was able to figure out the algorithms and figure out how to get, you know, the fan bases, man, through
it's
social
hard,
media.
man. It's really hard, and I think every day the pressure to produce content is so great. Like again, the comedians in the '80s, they're like, okay, I'm working towards
late night
TV. That's it. Late night TV, Johnny Carson, get on there, and then I get a sitcom, which maybe that must have felt daunting that there was such a small funnel to get in there.
Yeah.
That it was like 5 people that really get in. Where now, Country Wayne, you know, I mean, Jahan Jones, like all these online personalities, guys who do pretty well just on their own, you know. So there is that.
Yeah.
But that pressure.
I kind of want to go back pre though. I would rather go if I had the choice. I would go back pre social media.
Yeah, I would too.
I would take it back to like '90s with TV, just TV, man. Because now everybody is famous.
Yeah,
like remember back then it was only one kind of fame.
Yes.
It was like, yo, that person is famous.
Famous.
And famous meant so much then.
Right.
Now it's like fame doesn't mean shit because there's so many different levels of fame. Like back then it was A-lister, B-lister, C-lister, D. Your fame was determined by a letter.
Right.
Now it's like this person is social media famous.
Right, TikTok.
He's
like
A-list social media. He's a B-list. It's like TikTok famous.
Yeah, there's A, B, C, D, Hollywood, then A, B, C, D, TikTokers and social. There's that one male, maybe, hey, baby. Hey, have you seen that guy? He's a white dude.
Yeah.
Who he's from Cleveland or some shit. He's at the Atlanta Comedy Theater. And I was like, I didn't even know he did stand-up. He's a funny personality. But I'm just thinking, has he been doing stand-up? Like, that would be an amazing thing, and kudos to him if he was able to break out doing all this, and he does his fit checks and shit. You know, the fucking fit check videos I can't stand.
It's like you could do anything. Like I realized that people like anything, dude. And I'll scroll. And before I started doing my videos, I kept racking my brain. What do I want to do? And then when I just started seeing what people were doing, and I was like, yo, people like this shit. Then I just said, fuck it, I'm thinking too hard. Yeah. And I just started just doing the thing I said I was gonna do. And sometimes I post it, and I don't even think it's funny. And a lot of times, the ones that I don't think funny are the ones that really get legs and do more numbers than the ones that I really put time and effort into. Yep. So it's just like, fuck it. I'm just looking for the algorithm. Like,
like you said, the pre-90s would have been, that's where I feel like at the beginning of my comedy career, I was doing a lot of sketches. I was filming a lot more. And I have to be honest, I feel like now what social media has made me do is look at what everybody else is doing, and it's been distracting away from when, you know, it's like, if it was MySpace, we were just making these sketches for MySpace. It wasn't how it is now, where it's so tight, and you see what somebody did last night, like, oh man, I missed that party. Fuck. The FOMO is so real.
Yeah.
And so there wasn't that pressure. added to your already depression of being a comedian, trying to, oh, dang, he got that. But to see the person having it and doing it is an elevated level that we didn't have just 10 years ago before all this social media. You know, people don't understand. And I think that's why you have comedians killing themselves with the depression. You know, we're feeling a lot more of this shit because it's so visual.
Yeah, it's so visual. You're seeing the next person get opportunities that sometimes you can't help it. In your mind, you're like, it's hard to be happy for some people sometimes because you're hating on that person, just because you're just like, God dang, like when is my time gonna come?
Exactly. Well, the Netflix is a joke comedy festival.
Yeah,
is a perfect example of that, and I love Dave Getzoff had a great joke because they started releasing.
Shout out to Dave.
Shout out to Dave.
Yeah.
But he had a great joke where he's like, dang, they got to release this shit on Valentine's Day. So if you're a single comedian, like, okay, I don't have anybody and I'm not shit, in the festival. Right. And it is this whole, we're seeing everybody is sharing the flyer. They're sharing the flyer. And it's like, you got a golden ticket. It's like, who's on
it, who's not on it,
who
made it. It's just like that feeling when you looking to see if you made the basketball team.
It is. It's like going up the list. Like,
but you know what I say about it is just like this. It's like a lot of that is representation. A lot of that is people and people who know you and you blah blah blah. It is never a reflection of your talent a lot of times because for year 1 or year 2 I didn't do the festival, and there was some days where I saw shit that was going on that I didn't know about, and I kind of felt like shit because it's like, God dang, I would have wanted to went to that party or did this show. But this year it came about. I'm like, you know what? I'm touring. I got a lot of good shit going on. I got my podcast. I'm on the road damn near every weekend with Tone. So I just look at it like, fuck it, like, you know what I mean. But I will be at them Netflix's joke parties,
those after
drinking,
parties.
Open bar, eating, mingling, and then I've made it. I'm told myself I'm going to make it more of a point because I forgot and I forget sometimes that I'm a master networker. That's one of my that's what I love to do. And I gotta get back to that now, and just shaking the hands again, which I don't have no problem doing. So this time next year, I will be one of the comedians performing on the Netflix as a joke. And I'm not even counting this year out. You know what I mean? I'm really
exactly.
not.
I'm not either. I mean, that's part of what we do. A big part is manifesting and saying it out loud, because the shit. I saw this interesting video, of course, on TikTok. Which they did a study where they're talking to drops of water, and they said the first drops, they said, I love you, said all these positive things, and they froze it, and it froze into a perfect snowflake, like symmetrical, beautiful design, and then the other drops, they fucking talked negative to, froze it, and it was chaotic all out.
Wow.
So it's interesting, like literally what you say, it does affect, and so I think that's a big part about what we do, is how do you just stay positive in those, like you said, you're touring with Tony Rock, you know what I mean, doing so many things, so well respected in the community,
right?
That it's these Netflix folks, most of them don't have a clue of who we are unless we happen to, like you said, it's bookers and the shows they go to see.
Who's in the representation?
Right.
I have a good friend of mine. His name is Perrin.
Perrin Holtrop.
Yeah, Perrin Holtrop.
Yeah, shout out to Perrin.
And he he's in and out of helping people, but he helps me often. He's the one who actually
he's the man.
He gets me my JFL auditions and things of that nature.
Okay, I need to hit him up.
Yeah. He's good people, man, and so he's kind of like my insider. So I kind of tell him, yo, get back out there, man, so we can make some things happen. But he was out here shaking hands, and he was making some major moves, and he was able to do certain things that nobody was able to do for me. Like I said, give me these JFL auditions, which is another thing when those come up and people are like, God dang, I didn't even know about that. I didn't even get an audition.
Right. And Perrin's, he's great. And I mean, that's what you need at the end of the day. Like, for example, I hit this guy up on Instagram asking if I could get into this thing. And he came back at me pretty strong, like, this is not how you pitch somebody like that in my position. And I'm like, okay. And but that's the industry, you have to, it's been a big lesson to me recently, the older I get, that people will talk to you in all sorts of way in this business. I've been talked to anti-Semitic, racist, like, sexually harassed, you name it, but I'm not a snitch that's going to go on this, my thing and talk to it about people. I keep it to myself, and then I strategize. It's a game of chess, like.
Yeah. I would have been like, well, how, because see, with me, I'm so kind of just straightforward with folks now at this point in time. So I'm just like, hey, well, okay, well, what did I need to say? What do I need
that's
to
what
do?
I responded. I said, great, great, have a nice weekend. And then, well, hey, now the conversation opens up.
Yeah, because they want you to be people want you to be intimidated by them. And people want you to have this respect, and they want you to know who they are. And it's just like, yo, at the end of the day, look, either you want to help me or you're not.
Exactly. and I got to say that it's controversial, but bookers can be such trash. Human beings.
Ain't nothing controversial about it.
And people don't realize how us comedians are treated by a lot of these people, because they know we want the stage time. They know we're crackheads for the stage time a lot. And the way we're treated, like, you have to literally kiss their ass to get booked, and continue to kiss their ass, even if they're saying some fucked up shit. I've been in positions where people say fucked up shit to you, and you still have to smile and say something.
Polite. But for me, I'm like, man, I let people know all the time, hey, I'm a man first.
Yeah.
I'm a human before I'm a comedian. So at the end of the day, just know that. So when you approach me and say something to me with knowing, keeping that in mind. Like, I'm not gonna let you get away with just saying shit or whatever to me, regardless of what position you're in. Because I always come at people with respect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me too.
And so, but a lot of them could be some assholes.
Oh yeah, that's a big Hollywood thing. The you don't know who I am kind of. The mentality that it breeds here, and then people get into this position and they're like just nerds, or people didn't really know how to make friends, and then their arrogance just takes over.
You could tell the non-cool people, or the people who wasn't cool in high school, the people who got picked on in high school. A lot of them are the ones that are in these positions because they worked hard. They have this ego, like, I'm going to one day be in this position so I can shit on everybody who shitted on me. The cool people who've been cool from day one, they always are like, yo, what's up? Yeah, man, let's get some drinks. Let's talk about this situation.
And they're like, no, you look like one of those guys who put me in a locker in high school. You're like, no, I'm not that guy. And that is the craziest part. Is I assume you and I are probably similar. I was an athlete in high school. I was liked. I was popular. I don't feel that popular out in LA. Which is funny because most people, comedians, we're probably mostly the popular, funny people in our group of friends. That's why we're here. We felt like we were the best out of our town, whatever, to come here. And then, but you realize, it's the nerds who run this town. And I was always cool with everybody.
Yeah, likewise.
But it still is like, I'm not that. I'm not an alternate white comedian. I'm in the black community. I never fit into that community. Yeah. And it's like,
for me, I have to sometimes remind myself like, okay, because there's times I would go to certain clubs and I don't feel out of place. I just feel like at this point I don't have the patience to try to mingle in certain areas or certain whatever. Like, if I don't feel welcome, like, I'm just like, okay, I don't feel like giving the energy of just being like, hey, what's up, guys, or whatever the case may be. Certain places I go, the love is already there.
Right.
And that, for me, and that comes with just me getting older. And the older I get, the less tolerance I have for certain things.
Right. Yeah. Your time becomes way more important.
I don't feel like going to hang out at the bar, at the Comedy Store, just to try to get in. I feel like, hey, I'll get in another way. I'll go, I'll find out who the booker is, and I'll just really have a heart-to-heart talk with that booker. If it doesn't work that first time, I'll email, or if it go back up there again, hey, what you drinking? Or just just do it the way that I
Naturally.
know, the way I know how to do it.
Yeah.
But I'm not about to go and hang out and do with all these bums who aren't nearly as talented. I'm just gonna put it out there, or as funny as me, and go through that same process.
Right, and it's hard being an older man. And like you said, and having people like, just talk to you in a way, or just like, man, I can't kiss your ass. I'm a grown. I got 3 kids. I'm a grown ass man. I can't. If you're not going to give me respect, I certainly cannot sit here.
I'm like, I got a kid in grad school. Like, I'm not broke. I'm not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I say all this stuff humbly.
Exactly, but
like,
it's to present some fucking respect to
I
these
put
children
some time
who are
in
paying cell phone bills.
Right. So respect me in that manner and talk to me like I'm a grown adult.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I remember at the improv Christmas party, everybody was having a good time there. There was like open bar. It was amazing.
I'm mad I missed that. I think I was gone. Yeah.
That shit was amazing because it was just open bar. All the comedians, everybody's having a great time. And then when they're ready to kick everybody out, they shut the lights off. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck. And I'm like, yo, you're talking to your coal miners. You're talking to your lifeblood. So, like, just be like, hey, guys, everybody out. I know people don't leave a bar. We know that. But people were coming up to us like they were herding us onto a train or some shit. I was like, yo, this is giving my Jewish, Holocaust survivor, but, I'm getting some vibes. But it's the general lack of respect for comedians from bookers, comedy clubs a lot. That I don't know. I don't understand it because we're the ones who put people in your seats.
We put the food on the table.
Food on the table.
Keep the lights on.
Exactly. The food you're selling, all that alcohol you're selling, we're getting such a small percentage of that if we're not the headliner. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, most times here, you get paid $10, $25.
$10 to $25 to perform out here.
Right. And then the pressure is, but Sam, you're not that funny.
Yeah.
You're okay, but you're lucky to be on our stage, Sam. So here's $10. It's just, and I get that. People do go up there and they bomb, and that's a weird thing about comedy where you can go pay a lot of money to see a show and somebody bombs. Yeah. Like, how's that? You don't see that at the circus, you know what I mean, often.
But the crazy thing is I've seen the comedians who had the most mediocre, lackluster sets, a.k.a. bomb, that get the opportunities.
What is that,
Trey?
I've been seeing that. I'm on high fucking alert about that shit. I'm trying not to be too much of a hater.
It's not about being a hater either.
No, it's just like, come on, man. But like, I see people, they get booked. They're booked everywhere, and I've seen them bomb everywhere. I've seen these people bomb, and I'm like, how do you? But you get booked everywhere.
No, and when I say booked, so I'm talking about they getting Netflix specials. They getting all of the above. And I realized, man, like I said, black comedy is rated on a different scale. You know what I mean? That's why you don't see too many black comedians getting the official Netflix specials. I'm not talking about the Netflix specials that are
make them all pale in comparison, so they don't want to let too many get through.
Right. I'm talking about the actual, where they got the real Netflix cameras.
Yeah.
I know. Not you produced it and then you sold it to Netflix.
Right. Exactly.
You don't really see too many urban comedians getting those opportunities.
No, it has come through Dave Chappelle or Tiffany Haddish,
and even Dave Chappelle. They're not the Netflix cameras. I think.
I love how you call them the Netflix cameras.
I think
they're pretty nice. Dave has
no.
Netflix cameras.
The quality is nice, but what I'm saying is Netflix is not producing it. Dave Chappelle is producing it.
He is producing it.
And it's being sold or being whatever to Netflix. Like Taylor Tomlinson has the official, like, you know what I mean?
I wonder, though, I don't know that at all, but I'm wondering if Netflix has an in-house production team on some of those specials, or if most of these specials are, I don't know if it's Taylor Tomlinson's production company that's taking that money and producing,
Well,
I don't know.
You could tell by how they promote it. So
Interesting. Okay, that's a good point.
So Netflix will promote, like Nat Rife. That was Netflix. You know what I mean? Netflix
yes, 100%.
took Nat Rife on a whole Netflix promo tour, you know what I mean, with the whole Netflix. So that's what I'm.
That's a good point.
So that's what I'm talking about. So when I say the Netflix cameras, so that don't mean that the other qualities aren't
they
good.
they don't say Sony, they say Netflix. On the camera.
Yeah. But it's like, hey, Netflix, we behind this. Netflix got our name all over this. Netflix.
Netflix. Yeah, that Matt Rife is a great example of that.
So that's what I'm referring to.
Okay.
And it's like, but we're, Black comedians, we're rated on a different scale. So with us, they know we're already going to be funny. So they're not even looking for that from us. They just like, okay,
right.
They're not looking for that anymore. They like, we know you're going to have people falling out their seats laughing. We already know that.
Right.
But we need to see something else. Like, that comedy, style of comedy is out, for what we want to promote.
Yeah.
We want the thought-provoking type of,
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, for a lot of black male comedians, the industry likes an emasculated black male comedian. I don't want to say emasculated. I want to say more, more gay comedians, more white adjacent. You will see pop through.
That's sell. They want somebody across the board.
They're trying to make it palatable to a white audience.
Being loud, all that loud shit.
I don't know what he's saying. I mean, I realize that my family, some of my family friends, they went to see me with Tiffany Haddish, Lil Rel, and some of my friends were like, Sam, we couldn't understand what Lil Rel was saying. I was like, well, you guys need to fucking...
Yeah, Lil Rel is hilarious.
Lil Rel is hilarious stand-up comedian, but I realized it's the same of a British person, or it's a dialect that at first I was like, oh man, they're all racist. How do they not, I hear every word and I'm dying. But you realize some people, if you don't hang out around enough people, you don't know how to listen to dialects.
They're not going to understand.
It's crazy.
I think that's what has happened. That's
right.
a good
So
point.
A black comedian who talks like me or is like, okay, that's the type of.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Terry Crews. Look at Abbott Elementary. The males are like, I couldn't believe it on the Abbott Elementary, the dude on the billboard in Times Square, he's sitting holding his knees up. There's not a more emasculated way to make a man sit than with your knees up like a child on a billboard in Times Square. So I don't know. I'm that.
Yeah, it's
guy,
a lot
Trey,
of subliminal situations. You know what I mean? But I definitely see the direction or the kind of black comedians that they are pushing to the forefront.
Right.
The new ones.
Yeah.
And they don't have as much fire as the OGs, whatever. But at the same time, when you're seeing the change, it's just like, do you just continue doing what you're doing, or do you switch lanes and switch your style up? Not switch who you are, but make adjustments. Like my style of comedy never been the loud or the. I'm a chill person off stage, and so my comedy, how I deliver my material is very chill.
Right. I mean, I view always, since I've met you from the Laugh Tracks days, have known you as the host, the parties, the guy who keeps it going. You're one of the better hosts, I would say, in comedy. And not just a host, you're an excellent comedian, but you're one of those dudes that people, if they need something, in the Laugh Tracks, they're like, oh, Trey's gonna host the show.
Trey,
keep it going.
Trey, keep it going.
Yeah.
He knows how to read the room. He knows how to call the audibles.
Exactly.
And because at one point I was hosting everything. And I loved it because that made me a stronger comedian. It
does, yeah.
Host. So now I'm at the point to where, my style is very just, I just talk, man. I talk about real shit.
I always like your joke, the cool.
Yeah, the cool.
Yeah,
yeah. That was the joke that, kind of like my signature joke for a very long time. And so, it's just about making small adjustments, man, if you want to, make a way into the business.
Yeah.
I mean, crack open the industry code, because never really know what it is.
No.
Because I've seen people who I'm like, yo, I don't think they ever get on like that, and then boom, they on. I'm like,
don't doubt.
Shit.
Yeah. No, one thing I've learned in this business: don't ever count anybody out, because the minute. Or don't ever be like, that dude is trash. He is not funny at all. You're like, what? He has an NBC show?
Yeah, you just
like, dude,
really,
do not.
You really just got to be your authentic self.
Yep.
And with that being said, that doesn't mean that you won't grow. You can grow to somebody else, which is then now your authentic self. But whatever it is you do, be your authentic self. And then eventually, if you keep going and if you're good at being that, I really deep down inside feel like your time will come.
Amen. Yeah. You really got to be patient. That's the one word everybody's always pushed me. Be patient. Be patient. And you get tired of paying your dues.
It's the hardest thing to do, man. It really is. It really is. Yeah.
It's harder than hard, and nobody understands. And there's those moments where you want to quit. I've almost moved out of LA twice.
Oh yeah.
Where that's the words. You're like, you call everybody. You're like, talk about an audible. Like, it's calling every friend. You're like, all right, man. Yeah. I think it's it, man. I think we're moving. And you expect to be like, oh wait, Sam. Let me call somebody. Let's hook you up.
Oh no, they'd be like, all right.
Peace. Oh yeah. I mean, I remember talking to Tiffany. She's like, yeah, I think that's a good idea, man. I was like, what? Like, what? Fuck you, Tiffany.
You my friend.
Yeah. I was like, you're supposed to talk me out of this shit, but you realize even your friends, like, no, you have to keep it going no matter what. You got to
keep it going. You got to motivate yourself. People don't have time to help motivate somebody else because they're like, look, I'm still trying to keep me motivated. Yeah. And look, that's on every level. Yep. Even on the Tiffany level. Yeah. I'm sure there's moments with Tiff where she like, okay, Tiff, I got to keep myself going. Yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure on every level, man. Yes, it's a lot of pressure on every level.
It is, but that's why we do this shit, you know. We are the diamonds, motherfuckers.
Yep.
All right, Trey. Well, this has been a great fucking podcast. I really appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Tell the people where we can find you online.
You can find me at comedian Trey Elliot, TreyElliot. You can also watch my podcast, which I gotta get Samson on there.
Yeah,
it's
please.
the Live from the Green Room podcast with myself, Tony Rock, and Joe Fox, man.
I love Joe Feezy. Tony Rock.
Man. Yep. So us three, we got the Dope podcast. It comes on every Wednesday, so subscribe to that, Live from the Green Room. And then you can catch me at the Cities with Tony Rock on the Rock the Mic tour. I got some news that's coming up where I should be having my own tour date. So hopefully, not hopefully, so soon the Reckless and Ill-Advised tour will be coming. And I'll be doing both, the Rock the Mic tour with that tour. And yeah, man. So I'm just looking forward to rocking out, man.
No, it's great, and thank you for coming on up to the attic. Yeah, you made it up the ladder.
I made it. Now I don't know how the hell I'm gonna get back down.
I don't either.
But I made it up.
You made it up. That's all that counts. Yeah, I'll have to help you down. Maybe we'll figure it out. But guys, please follow me online on all my socials, are right below me.
Yeah.
Check out the YouTube, all my stuff, TikTok. Please help me out. My son got me banned going live on TikTok, so I need more followers. Help me out. I hate my son. He said the two words, which I won't say now because I know they ban you from everything.
Right.
And got my TikTok permanently.
Oh shit.
He got my TikTok account taken down, and then he got my live permanently taken down. But I got it back. So
badass kids.
So badass kids. So please follow me, guys. I need it.
Follow them.
Yep. This is Samson's World. Thank you.
Yeah. Peace.
Woo. Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah. Welcome to the show. Yeah, you're great. Yeah. Look, Mom and Dad, I'm on TV.